Hi everyone. Money is probably one of the most discussed topics in the world. We have it in large or small amounts. We all talk about it and we try our best to have as much as possible. Today I would like to talk about the most expensive things in the world. I'll give you a dose of motivation. The History Supreme is made with 100,000 kilograms of gold and platinum, has a feature wall made of T-Rex bone and meteorite, and includes a bottle of booze with an 18.5 carat diamond on it. Well, that's how the story goes. Oh, and it reportedly costs $4.8 billion. It's one of the biggest boating myths going, a concept yacht so impressive that it made world headlines. But no one has ever seen it and internet sleuths think it never existed. The creator of the History Supreme, Hughes, says, all features including deck, dining area, rails, anchor, are made from precious metals. The sleeping quarters have a feature wall, made from meteoric stone with genuine dinosaur bone shaved in from the raptor T-Rex, Hughes' website says. Hughes is known for wrapping objects in gold and diamonds, most famously iPhones. So this makes sense. But he's not known as a boat builder. And despite several interviews with news outlets saying it was real, nobody has spotted this beast in the wild. The rumors are it belongs to Robert Kwok, founder of the Shangri-La Hotel and Resorts chain. Kwok is the richest person in Malaysia and Forbes estimates his worth at a cool $12.6 billion. Buckingham Palace is a London royal residence and the administrative headquarters of the monarch of the United Kingdom. Located in the city of Westminster, the palace is often at the centre of state occasions and royal hospitality. It has been a focal point for the British people at times of national rejoicing and mourning. Ever wondered if a house can cost more than $1 billion? It's really insane to think for sure, but the fact of the matter is it's a reality. Hold your breath. The world's most expensive house is said to be Buckingham Palace, owned by the British royal family whose estimated worth is $4.9 billion as per Forbes. The palace is spread over a vast size of around 828,000 square feet, whereas the garden, which is the largest garden in London, is spread over 40 acres. During August and September and few days in winter and spring, the staterooms are open to the common public, which will be otherwise used for official and state entertaining. China's Tianhe-2 supercomputer has maintained its position as the world's most powerful system for the sixth consecutive time, according to a biannual top 500 list of supercomputers. Tianhe-2 or Milky Way 2, with a performance of 33.86 petaflops per second, FLOP-S, was developed by China's National University of Defense Technology and deployed at the National Supercomputer Center in Guangzhou. Tianhe-2 is able to perform 33,860 trillion calculations per second. 1 hour of these calculations by the supercomputer is the equivalent of 1,000 years of difficult sums by 1.3 billion people. As unfathomable as that number is, the future only grows brighter for information technology. Tianhe-2 is used for simulation, analysis, and government security applications. Its price is $400 million. The James Webb Space Telescope is a large, space-based observatory. These features give it the ability to look deeper into space. Light from these distant objects takes thousands of years to reach Earth. So when researchers use the telescope, they're essentially looking backwards in time, to some of the earliest periods of our universe. According to NASA, the telescope will help scientists search for the first galaxies formed after the creation of the universe. It can also help determine how galaxies evolved after they formed. Other goals for the project are observing the formation of stars from their early stages and investigating whether distant planets have the potential for life. According to NASA budget documents, the project has cost about $10 billion through the 2021 fiscal year. Most of its funding was spent on the development of the telescope, including initial modeling of the project, construction of each of its components, and testing before its launch. The International Space Station is the largest modular space station currently in low Earth orbit. It is a multinational collaborative project involving 5 participating space agencies: NASA, United States, Roscosmos, Russia, JAXA, Japan, ESA, Europe, and CSA, Canada. The ownership and use of the space station is established by intergovernmental treaties and agreements. Guinness World Book is calling the International Space Station the most expensive man-made object. It noted on its website that the cost of the structure was more than $100 billion. Some other sources also note that it actually took more than $150 billion. Right now, antimatter, with a price tag of about $62.5 trillion per gram, is the most expensive substance on the Earth. When groups of people are asked to name the most expensive substance, the variety of answers is hilarious. Often, the responses are droll ones such as love, cocaine, cash money, computer ink, or even sex. To actually create antimatter, scientists focused on the simplest form of matter, hydrogen. A hydrogen atom consists of just one electron and one proton. This means that the simplest form of antimatter, an antihydrogen, is made up of an antiproton and a positron. The positron is attracted to an antiproton in the same way an electron is attracted to a proton. The first antihydrogen was made in 1995 at the CERN, European Organization for Nuclear Research, super collider by colliding antiprotons with xenon atoms. This collision produces a positron, which is electrically attracted to another antiproton, subsequently forming antihydrogen. Unfortunately, it only takes a few millionths of a second for antimatter particles to come into contact with their matter counterparts, annihilating themselves and giving off energy. Because of this, scientists have worked on ways to make antimatter stable enough to be contained. This isn't your typical space rock. There's a metal asteroid out there worth $10,000 quadrillion. The asteroid 16 Psyche, one of the most massive objects in the main asteroid belt orbiting between Mars and Jupiter, could be made entirely of metal, according to a study published this week. Even more intriguing, the asteroid's metal is worth an estimated $10,000 quadrillion. That's 15 more zeros, more than the entire economy of Earth. We've seen meteorites that are mostly metal, but Psyche could be unique in that it might be an asteroid that is totally made of iron and nickel, study lead author Tracy Becker of the Southwest Research Institute said in a statement. Using the Hubble Space Telescope, Becker was able to analyze the asteroid in greater detail than ever before. The findings were published in a study in the Planetary Science Journal. The study comes as NASA is preparing to launch a spacecraft, also dubbed Psyche, which will travel to the asteroid as part of an effort to understand the origin of planetary cores.